حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن ولا وبعد. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحدي حدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أيها الإخوة الكرام وأخوات السيدات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نعم شيخ. We are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have the ability to leave our homes or to leave our places of work and to come to the masjid and pray. This is a great ni'mah. There are some Muslims in the world today. They are not allowed to even call themselves Muslims. Naam, Sheikh.
Maybe you hold it? Would you like to?
No, if you're not able to hear me, then maybe you should move closer. That's all I can tell you. But I'm not going to hold the mic up to my face. If you don't have the technology to make sure that this can be heard, that's not my problem. As I mentioned in the National Mosque, the people of Fasad and the people of Fawahish, they don't have no problem getting the sound or the pictures that they want. Now, if we can't spend the money to have the technology so that we can talk and it can be heard everywhere, that's not my fault. Because the CIA and the KGB and the MI5, they can hear a rat urinating on a piece of paper from a half a mile away. So if they can spend the money to listen to conversations from a mile away, why we can't spend the money to hear a lecture inside the masjid? So don't be telling me to raise my voice and don't be telling me to be holding on to no microphones for the people that don't want to spend no money. The other thing is, you didn't give me no money to come here. And nobody paid no ticket, and nobody paid for the hotel, and nobody paid for my driver, and nobody paying me to leave. So when I get ready to leave, don't be opening up no phones talking about, Sheikh, I love you, I want to take a picture. I'm not doing no more pictures. You don't like it? Call another Sheikh. Maybe Sheikh Yaseen Khalit. Wabad. Okay, so brothers and sisters, or brothers, and for the brothers who's sitting all the way in the back, I would suggest you move forward so, you know, we get the barakah of the jama'ah. You know, we get the barakah of the jama'ah. Because if you said the Sheikh is coming and he's giving $100, a US dollar, to everybody that he can see, then you would not find nobody sitting way back there. They would all be like all piled up right there. But I'm not giving out no $100. All I'm doing, I'm just saying what, taking up this time somebody asked me to say, and we ask Allah to accept. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I want to just give an ayah of the Quran and a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And then I just want to reflect on this ayah and reflect on that hadith, because really it's enough. So this is an ayah that we all know. We heard it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu taqullah wal tanzur nafsum ma qaddamat lighad. واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون. And the ayah continues. لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك أمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. Okay, هو الله الذي up to the end of the ayah. So, without the time to reflect on the entire ayats, I want to reflect on what Allah is saying in the beginning. He's addressing those who have taqwa, and he said it twice. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullah wal tanzur nafsum ma qaddamat lighad wattaqullah. So he said it twice to let you know what he's asking, what he's commanding, what he's reminding is for the people who are what? Muttaqeen. So whoever's not muttaqeen, whoever don't have no taqwa, and whatever the meaning is that, don't worry about the rest of the ayah. Wal tanzur, look, just like you'd be looking at your phone, look. It's like you be looking, you understand me, in your checkbook or looking at what you got in the bank. Look. Just like you tell your children what you did in school today. Look. You know, when you get on inside the highway and you're going somewhere looking at the GPS, just look. Allah is saying, look. But in this case, Allah says, ما قدمت لغد. Look, measure, calculate, make an assessment, review what you have invested, what you have prepared yourself for tomorrow. Tomorrow means here, he didn't say Bukhara. He could have said that word. He said lighadin. And here lighadin is like from what is immediate to the longest measure. Lighadin, the time span from where it is now and then. So I ask, and I'm just asking this question rhetorically. You don't have to answer it, especially if you think that I'm asking a question that will embarrass you. You don't have to answer it, but it's a question. So if I ask how many people have at least one juz of Quran, probably everybody. Everybody. If I ask how many people speak some Arabic language, mostly everybody. If I ask how many people they are committed to praying 5 prayers a day, or committed to fasting the month of Ramadan, or to pay zakat when it should be paid, or to make hajj when they have the means to do so, and they believe in Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, almost everybody. But I got a different question. And the question I have is, how many of you, Jazakallah khair, Naqi, just come this way. May Allah reward you. Thank you, brother. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's it. That's it. Thank you very much. So the question I got is a little bit different. And that question is simple.
Where's the nearest ATM?
How many of you,
All right, I tell you what. I'll give y'all
within my
5
voice
minutes to go to the ATM
range,
and just come back and I'll give you another
can say
stop
that you have a life plan? Now, before you raise your hand, let me define what a life plan is. A life plan is about you, your life. This ain't what no teacher told you to do. This is not what the university told you to do. This is not what the government asked you to do. This is that you, yourself, you decided to review your own life, your own capabilities, the age that you are, and what you want to do, and what you'd like to accomplish in the next 5 years if you don't plan that well, or in the next 10 years And after you did that, you wrote it, double spaced it, typed it. And after typed it, spell checked it. And then after that, you gave it to somebody who you trust to read it. And they say that's good. And then after that, you memorized it. So who got a life plan? Hello? I mean, I know y'all got people here that got undergrad. You got some graduate students here that's got a master's degree. You got some people here that's got a PhD. I know you got some smart people here. You know, y'all got money. Y'all got these fancy watches. Got them nice cars. You got double phones, all kind of different kind of phones. Some of y'all got 2 phones, 2 wives, 3 wives. So I'm asking the question again. How many people got a life plan based on the definitions that I just gave? Don't feel bad about it, because only 1 in 10,000 people have it. The government told you to do a life plan, a career plan. Everybody's supposed to have that, because if you ain't got no career plan, that means you can't get no job. So it wasn't no big deal to have no career plan. Everybody can be broke. Everybody can be unemployed. And when it comes to unemployment in Nigeria, 223 million people, according to the statistics, they say that 35% of the whole population is unemployed. Now multiply that. 35% of 223 million people is unemployed. And you think there ain't another Boko Haram that's going to happen? Maybe they ain't going to call it Boko Haram. Maybe they're going to call it Soko Haram, whatever they're going to call it. But it's going to happen. Because when you got 65, 70 million people without a job, and 60% of them is under the age of 40, they're going to be angry. And all it takes is one spark, and there you got it. So one thing that a life plan will do is that it will seriously reduce the chances of something like that happening. That's one. So if ain't nobody here got a life plan, that must be one of the priorities we got to do. We got to make sure that almost every Nigerian has a life plan. And if somebody didn't know exactly what it is, what I came to the country to do this time is to talk about a life plan. You can talk about the purpose of life. You know, you can talk about removing misconceptions about Islam and Muslims. You know, you want to talk about Isa ibn Maryam coming back. You know, you want to talk about this ayah, this in ayah so and so in the Quran, such and such an ayah on such and such a page in such and such a chapter, and brrr, brrr. You want to talk like that? Good. Go on YouTube. They got a lot of that stuff. But guess what? That's not going to change our condition. Trying to make other people take shahada, they ain't going to change our condition. But young men and women who get up in the morning and they got a plan that they wrote and memorized and that they on focus with, and then young men and women who got their own job, that means data job. They ain't got to go to work, data job. Because the phone that we got right here today, the world never saw it before. These mobile phones just came out around 25, 30 years ago, right? The world never had this before. Allah going to hold us responsible for this technology. Allah going to hold us responsible for this technology. And this technology, we ain't supposed to have no unemployment in this country. You know Jeff Bezos? Anybody here know Jeff Bezos? I didn't say Jeff Bezos, I said Jeff Bezos. You know who that is? You know who Bill Gates is? You know Warren Buffett? Okay, you know what's this other guy? Elon Musk. They say he's going to be the first trillionaire in the world. Well, we know because we all using their products. Well, that's why I came to Nigeria this time, just to get it straight. I came to talk to the people about what they got and how we can have a part of what they got, and that how we can remove, we could create in this country in 1 year. How many states is there in this country? 37? Okay, 37 with the FCT. Okay, don't count the FCT. 36. So how much is 10,000 times 36? Okay, I know y'all probably you think you got the answer. All you got to do is have the right zeros. That's all you got to do. It's an easy figure. 10,000 times 36 this year. And then compound that again next year. And then compound that again next year. That means that's how many people, you know, that we could take off the unemployment rolls in 5 years using this technology. So if there's is there any entrepreneurs here, any investors that's in here, any bankers that's in here, any people that want to do business right here? I got a technology that you can use inside this phone right here that we could address the issue of unemployment. But I'm not giving it away for free. I'm not stupid. I'm going to bring the technology to the people who have the money to do it, just like, may Allah bless, hey, listen, the people like Aliko Dangote and Dan Tata, you know what I mean? These kinds of people, may Allah bless those kind of people with Iman. Why? Because we have about 100 of those people who are creative, who are innovative in industry, who are wealthy, who can change lives, who are humanitarians. If we had those kind of people, we could remove poverty from this country in just 2 or 3 years. But we don't have 100 of those people who's willing to give up some money. So let's go back to the ayah. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. So here, Khabirum is like Allah is Samiul Alim. You know, He is Samiul Alim. And Khabirum bima, He know what's inside your thinking. You know Mukhabarat, you know the Mukhabarat, they be knowing all what you're doing. They be spying on everything you're doing. They got cameras every place. They got cameras, they got little micro cameras. You know what I'm saying? The food you eating, they got little micro cameras that you can't even see. They put them inside different places. I forget what they call them. They little things that they be just hopping, moving, and you can't even see them. They microscopic, and they put them in different places in the air, and the dust, and look like little pieces of dust, and you breathe it in. It's inside it, and it creates some more crystallization. Next thing you know, the mukhabarat, they all up inside you, according to what they say. I don't know. Shayateen people, that's how they work. Because Allah, He already said, the shayateen people, what they do? They in a place where they can see you and you can't see them. But Allah is Samiul Alim, He's seeing all of that. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وما يعلم جنود ربك إلا هو. So first, ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله. And do not be like those who forgot about Allah. How could we forget about Allah? We just got finished praying. How can we forget about Allah? Subhanahu wa ta'ala, we all memorizing Quran. How can we forget about Allah? We saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. We all Muslims. We reciting the kalima in the prayer. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How could we forget about Allah? Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, Subhan Rabbi al-Ala, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd, Allahu Akbar. How can we forget about Allah? He said, فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. They forgot about Allah, so Allah, He caused them to do what? He caused them to forget about their own interests. Their own interests, not their food, because eating food is not always in your interest. If you eat too much food, it's not in your interest. Having money and too much of it that you don't spend right, that's not in your interest. In your interest means according to your portion. وَابْتَغِي فِي مَا آتَاكُ اللَّهُ الدَّارُ الْآخِرَةِ وَلَا تَنْسَى نَصِيبَكَ فِي الدُّنْيَا. See, so here, my brothers and sisters, I want to say that we need to engage in some things that we take for granted. The first I want to say to you about your future and taking a share of this dunya is that you should commit yourself to a life plan. If you don't know how to do it, don't fool yourself. Don't act like you think you know what it is. If by my definition you didn't do one, you need to do one. If you're an older guy, older lady, do it and pass it on to your children. That be one of the greatest favors you can do. And if you didn't do it, and just because you older and you got some money and you don't do it, you forgot about your future. Because if your children don't have a plan of their own, somebody else, they got a plan for your children. Those who fail to plan, by default, they plan to fail. That's the way it goes. Now I'm relating all this back to the ayah, so don't be thinking like you lost its subject. Because that maybe you're looking at your phone, or you're thinking about your wife, or you're looking at your watch, or your fancy, whatever you're doing. You better be listening to what's being said to you, otherwise you lost the whole script. Because then Allah says, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Who is he talking about? Who is he talking about from the beginning? Ya ayyuhalladhina what? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu what? Those who believe and those who have taqwa. Then he's talking about do not suicide. Then he says, Ulaika humul fasikun. And another place he says, wa aktharuhum fasikun. So even though people are believing, even though people are Muslims and they are believing and they are praying, in some aspect of their life they losing everything. They forgetting what the most important things. And as a result of that, even though they're Muslims and they looking like, doing all the actions like, but Allah said they forgot themselves, they forgot about Allah, which means what? Their duty to Allah. They forgot about their duty to Allah. As a result of that, they forgot about the interests of themselves. And then Allah said, even though they is, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullah, and he said it twice, taqullah, they have become what? Fasiqun. We all involved in some kind of fisq. Look up the word what fasiq is. Fasiq. Look up the word. I'm not accusing nobody. La ilaha illa ant. Subhanaka inni kuntu min al-dhalimeen. So I'm the first one to say, you know something, that my life is headed towards some fisq, unless I put on the brakes, unless I get a reminder. فَذَكِّرْ إِن نَفَعَتِ الذِّكْرَى إِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. All of us, we got this fisq that's inside of us. We wake up in the morning in one state, and we go to sleep at night in another state. So this is just a reminder for me and a reminder for you that you need to do something about tomorrow. You need to have a plan for tomorrow. So the first thing is a life plan. If you don't have it, you can ask somebody. Hey, the Sheikh was talking about a life plan. Is there a way that he can help me get a life plan? My email is skypurpose@gmail.com. 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 If I need to say it 4th time, I'm not doing it. If you didn't get it and I said it 3 times, sorry. Sorry. Ask the Imam. He can see my homeboy over there, or he can see the other boy over there, or call Muslim professionals in Dawah, or ask Sheikh, what the Sheikh name? Sheikh, his name is the Sheikh who just read the Quran for us. Huh? Sheikh Umar, not the one that led the prayer. The Sheikh with the blue thobe on. Professor, what's his name? He was traveling with us the last few days. He's with us. He's from MI. What's the Sheikh's name? Huh? No. Both of them is Omar? Omarain. Okay, Omar. No problem. Y'all can't be wrong. It's okay. So, get my email from him, and I'll send you the template for free. But I'm not going to guide you through it for free. I'll send the template to you. That means get you started, send you in the right direction. But if you need somebody to really help you go through it, it ain't free. Go out and breathe the air, that's free. But it ain't gonna grow no food. You can't go out there and take a deep breath and some potatoes and some fish and all that come on your plate. And ain't no gold and silver come out the sky just because you can breathe and you want dawah for free, you want dawah for free, you want somebody to come and talk for free, that's why you ain't getting nothing. So ask them for the email. So the second thing is, it's called entrepreneurship. What did I say? Entrepreneurship. Sound like a different, it means to be self-employed. That means you're not working for nobody. You the job. You the boss. All you got to do is get up every day and regulate yourself. Discipline yourself. Come to your job. Come to your desk. Open up your phone. Open up your computer. Go to that software and move goods and services all over the world. And that money come right inside your bank account. You ain't got no boss. How many people want to do that? How many people interested? You ain't even raised your hand, you want to do that? Then that means I'm just here wasting my time. I said, who want to get up in the morning and be their own boss and come to their own job and open up their phone and open up their computer and use these software and applications inside of it to move goods and services all over the world through what Jeff Bezos and Microsoft and all them boys set up, and money come into your account every single day. That's called entrepreneurship. This ain't about Snapchat, it ain't about no Snapchat or Instagram. This ain't about no YouTube or HerTube or DayTube. The word is called entrepreneurship. If you can't spell it, go to your Google Gaggle Giggle, they'll give it to you. You're using your phone for the wrong thing. And you think, oh Sheikh, how can I do that? You think I'm here to just tell you everything? I'll tell you what, give me your PIN number for your bank right now, and I'll tell you how to do it. You say, I'm not doing that. Well, I'm not giving it for free then. So what's the two things that I just mentioned in relation to the ayah? What's the two things? Have a life plan, and what else? And finish a program of entrepreneurship. Because guess what? If you got a phone and you got a half a mind and you know how to use it, you can become an entrepreneur. You, your wife, your daughter, and for the sisters, if you got a broke husband, he ain't got no money, but he got a phone, you get a phone. And you become an entrepreneur. And after that, give him some money and get rid of him. Get you one that's another entrepreneur. Both of y'all can make some money. Or don't get rid of him. Hold on to him. You take care of him, and you be the one that's commanding everything. Let him lead the prayer, and you lead everything else. Now, I'm not suggesting that, so don't think I'm starting no fitna. But our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah gave him a wife that she was in charge of the business. So I'm not saying something wrong. Who would like to have a Khadijah? You know what I mean? Who would like to have a Khadijah? Who would like to have a Aisha whose father is Abu Bakr? Khadijah didn't work for nobody, and she didn't work for nobody. And Aisha radiallahu anha, even though the Prophet passed away when she was 18 years old, she didn't work for nobody. So we would love to have a Khadijah, so we can do the Islamic work all over the world, and she getting that money. She taking care of that business. It's right or wrong. And so many children she had for him. She had 6. No, she had 5. 4 girls and 1 boy that died. Prophet had 7 children. 4 girls and 3 boys. All of them, the boys died, and the 4 girls lived, and the girls died in his own lifetime, except for Fatima, radiallahu anha. See. So brothers and sisters, I'm talking something that's real. So I'm talking about real Islam. I'm not talking about a different Islam. I'm talking about a real Islam. An Islam that have contextual reality in the 21st century. Contextual reality that you can taste, touch, feel, smell, hear, walk with, do with, and everybody love it. You ain't got no problem giving dawah when you got money. You got money, you can pull up a truckload, you can come up with a truckload of money right out there and just be giving out like 10 naira from Maghrib to Isha. You just giving out 10 naira to everybody. people would be coming from all over this area here. They'd be knocking people down and hollering and just give me one. The guy's giving out 10 naira and boom, boom. And every time Maghrib and Isha, every Friday, I knew a Sheikh in Riyadh, not Riyadh, in Jeddah, about 40 years ago. Once a week, he used to give out 100 riyals to everybody that got in line between Asr and Maghrib. When they called the adhan for Maghrib, khalas, he closed it and go home. That day, he gave out money to 4,000 people every week until they called the adhan. The rest that didn't get none, they come the next week. Who you think was the most popular sheikh in Jeddah during his age? Who you think? He was. Because he was giving out money. He wasn't no scholar. He was giving out money. That was what he was known for. And you can go back, he was called a Muhsinin. They say he the one of the big. At that time, in Arabia, he was giving out money like water. Now, if somebody want to do some dawah, just tell the people, sit down over there for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to give you some money, but listen to what we got to say. They ain't got no problem listening, because they know after they finish what? They're going to get some money. Or you say, hold up. And even if you don't get no money, we serving some biryani and giving you some water and something else, some shifts or a shirt or something like that. Just sit down over there and listen. You might have about 5,000 people here every week. Some of them are non-Muslims, and 100 of them take shahada every week. Next thing you got 400 shahadas every week. From the food, from the shifts, and from the money. This masjid become famous all over this area. So man, go to that masjid. Forget all them other ones. Go to that one. See, because of giving. So if you're an entrepreneur, you could be a giver. You're a humanitarian, you could be a giver. But in order for you to be a humanitarian, you first got to become what? An entrepreneur. Unless you was born with money or you already got illegal Dangote money. If you ain't got that kind of money, then become an entrepreneur. Right now in America, you know what I'm saying, they say they're producing 1,000 entrepreneurs every week. Because people is learning how to use this technology. So I came now, they say, oh, Sheikh Khalit Yaseen here, so if somebody want to hear the purpose of life, somebody want to hear it, hey Sheikh, can you recite that one called Strangers? No, I ain't doing that no more. I ain't reciting that one no more. You didn't get the tape? You didn't get that one? You didn't hear that one? Go on YouTube, they got it. Download that one. You ain't even got to pay for it because you ain't pay me for the new one. So I'm doing something different now. It's called what? What the talk is, brothers? What's my new talk? How to get a what? Oh, you didn't hear it. I'm doing it today. This is the new talk. How to do a life plan. Why to do a life plan? Why it's important to do a life plan? How to become an entrepreneur? Why should you be an entrepreneur? What is an entrepreneur? What's going to happen if this city got 10,000 entrepreneurs? If the city Maiduguri got 10,000 entrepreneurs, guess what? Boko Haram can't come back. There's no place for them. Ain't no place for no extremism, you understand, when you got 10,000 entrepreneurs. So you can beat the terrorists, the fanatics, the extremists. You can win against them if you give people food, if you give them a plan, if you make them entrepreneurs, you let them make some money, they can get married. All of a sudden, what them fools is talking about is no longer attractive. You feel me? Okay, what time is it? What time is it? 7:36? And what time is the Isha? Excuse me? Good. So, okay, brothers, did y'all get the message? So let me just tell you what the Prophet ﷺ, he said. The Prophet ﷺ said, Yadul ula khayrun min yadul sufla. The upper hand is better than the lower hand. That's the upper hand that is able to give and reach and command. It's better than the one that is like that, waiting to get something. You know, reaching out to get something. I don't care who giving it, even if it's halal. Yadul ula. is better than yadu sufla. The Prophet he said, al-mu'minu qawi, al-mu'minu qawi, khayrun wa ahabbu ila Allah min al-mu'min al-da'if. So what that mean? The strong believer, the resourceful believer, the believer that has leverage, influence, is better and more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the weak one. You got that part? Okay, we say subhanakallahumma bihamdik wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ameen, ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi